Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are taking on a true culinary masterpiece. If you've spent any time in Thailand, or honestly, even just your favorite local Thai spot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Durian sticky rice. It's rich, it's super fragrant, and it is just undeniably iconic. But making it at home? Yeah, that can feel kind of intimidating. Well, not anymore. Today, I'm going to give you a completely demystified, step-by-step guide to mastering this dessert. We're breaking down the techniques, the ingredients, and the real secrets to getting that perfect restaurant-quality texture right in your own kitchen. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, we'll cover the things to prepare. Then we'll move into prepping the durian itself. Uncover some sticky rice secrets, make that luscious sauce, and finally, get to plating and serving. Phase 1. Things to prepare. Because honestly, getting your equipment lined up beforehand is the absolute secret to flawless traditional desserts. Having the right tools ready is literally half the battle won.
So you're definitely going to need a fork for shredding, which you likely already have on hand, but pay really close attention to these first two items. They are completely non-negotiable if you want that professional texture. First, an alum block. You use this to gently rub the raw rice. It actually removes the natural rice sap, so the grains end up beautifully shiny and clear without breaking. And second, a traditional bamboo steamer with a lid. This lets the steam circulate perfectly, cooking your rice evenly without it turning into a soggy mess. For authentic texture, these two tools are absolutely essential.
Phase 2, preparing the durian. This is the star ingredient, right? And picking the perfect fruit sets the foundation for the entire dish. When you're at the market, here is exactly what you're looking for. You want perfectly ripe, soft flesh, but the outside skin of the fruit segments should still be fully intact. You really want to actively avoid durian that's overly ripe and heavily mushy. Why? Well, if it's too soft, it'll just completely dissolve into your sauce, and you lose that wonderful, varied texture we're aiming for. All right, once you've got your perfect fruit, the prep is actually a pretty delicate process. First things first, pop out the seeds. Then, and this is a big one, trim away that hard core of the durian. It is simply unpleasant to eat and will absolutely ruin the silky texture of your dessert. After that, take your fork and gently mash the flesh into shreds. Oh, and here's a quick pro tip. Make sure to reserve a few pretty intact chunks to use as a garnish at the very end. Phase 3, sticky rice secrets. Now, this is the most technical part, but don't worry, I'm going to guide you right through tackling this traditional snake fang long-grain sticky rice. The crucial point here is exactly how we handle the raw greens. You're going to start by washing the rice 3 to 4 times until the water runs completely clear. Then, grab that alum block we talked about earlier and gently, very gently rub it against the rice. You do not want to press hard or those greens are going to snap. This gentle rubbing is what polishes the greens. Once it's washed again, you soak it and eventually steam it with fresh pandan leaves to infuse it with that incredible, sweet, grassy aroma. Now, between the washing and the steaming, there is a number you absolutely must remember. 2. That's 2 hours of soaking time. And hey, don't think of this as just waiting around. Frame this as active magic time. Those little grains are hydrating, expanding, and getting ready to cook evenly. Rushing this step? Yeah, that just guarantees hard, chalky centers, and nobody wants that. Once your 2 hours are up, it's steaming time. And here's our next magic number, 30. You need to steam the rice in your bamboo steamer with the lid firmly on for exactly 30 minutes. This precise timing is what ensures you get those perfectly translucent, fully cooked, chewy grains that still hold their shape. Okay, while the rice steams, we make our first liquid, traditionally known in Thai cooking as the moon liquid. We use this to sweeten and enrich the rice. It's just coconut cream, sugar, salt, and pandan. But remember this absolute golden rule. Heat on low, but do not boil. If you let it boil, the coconut cream will split. The oils separate from the liquid, and it completely ruins that luscious, silky texture. You literally just want it hot enough to dissolve the sugar and salt. Now, what's really interesting here is how temperatures matter. As soon as the rice is done steaming, you combine them. You must pour the hot moon liquid right over the hot sticky rice immediately. This instant mingling of hot ingredients forces the rice grains to open up and aggressively absorb all that rich, sweet coconut flavor. Give it a very slight stir to make sure everything's submerged, and then cover it up tightly. Which brings us to our final crucial number for the rice, 1. This is the 1 hour of resting time needed for the hot rice to fully absorb the liquid. But listen, you can't just walk away. To get perfectly even saturation, you need to lift the lid and gently stir the mixture every 10 minutes. By the end of this hour, the rice will have soaked up every single drop, leaving it plump, shiny, and unbelievably flavorful. Phase 4. Making the sauce. This is the rich, sweet topping that really brings the whole dessert into perfect harmony. For a truly authentic sauce, pay super close attention to the sugars. We aren't just dumping in standard white sugar here, we're using a specific blend of palm sugar mixed with toddy palm sugar. That combination right there, that's the secret to creating that deep, complex, authentic Thai sweetness with just a hint of caramel flavor. Mix that with fresh coconut cream, a touch of salt to balance things out, and some pandan leaves, and you literally have magic.
The process itself is wonderfully simple. Just gently melt the sugars and salt into the coconut cream on low heat, along with the pandan leaves. Once the sugar completely dissolves, fish out those pandan leaves and fold in that shredded durian we prepped earlier. And now is the time to taste it. You know, durians really vary in their natural sweetness. If your durian is super sweet, your sauce might already be perfect. But if it's a bit mild, you can easily tweak the sugar right now.
Once you add the durian, we come back to our golden rule, just with a little twist. Heat until very hot to extend the shelf life, but again, do not boil. Getting the mixture very hot is crucial because it kills any bacteria, which means your sauce will last a lot longer in the fridge. But if you let it hit a rolling boil, that delicate coconut cream will split. Just get it steaming hot, then immediately take it off the heat.
Phase 5, plating and serving. Let's move on and see how this all builds into the final dish.
Just imagine the sensory experience of putting this together. You start by laying down a nice base of those shiny, perfectly plump, coconut-infused sticky rice grains. Next, go in with a generous pour of your warm, rich durian sauce right over the top. Now, remember those pretty intact durian chunks we saved earlier? Place those carefully on top for a beautiful restaurant-quality presentation. And finally, finish the whole thing off with a tiny drizzle of thick, pure coconut cream. It adds this gorgeous visual contrast and a final hit of richness. It's absolutely stunning. And there you have it. By breaking it down into these structured phases, you now have the culinary confidence to whip up an authentic, foolproof durian sticky rice right in your own kitchen. You actually understand the why behind the tools, the temperatures, and the timing. But, mastering one dessert is really just the beginning of the journey. So I'll leave you with this. Which traditional Thai dessert should we demystify and explain next? Let your curiosity guide you, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.